Good morning to all the viewers. I'm Joanna Mel Jane F. Teriapel from Section 5, Bromine. I'm here to present some physics experiment or tricks. So, let's start. First, we need an empty matchbox. One empty matchbox. Second is 4 matchsticks. Lie the empty matchbox flat on a table, slightly open, with the empty section facing upward. Insert 2 matches into an empty matchbox so that the heads point out from the matchbox. Close the matchbox as much as possible so that the matches are securely held. Angle the 2 matches so that the heads are touching. Rest a third match so that the head meets the other 2 and the tail is resting on the table, pointing away from the empty matchbox. The 3 matches should now form a triangular pyramid with the 3 heads on the top point of the pyramid. Use a 4th match to light the other from underneath. Now, watch as the 3rd match magically rises off from the table. So, how does it works? When the 3 match heads ignite, they fuse together. In the case of the 3rd match, the top and the bottom of the surface of the match burn at the different rates, cause the gradient in the surface, temperature and tension across the match. The differing tension across the match cause the upward force to the exerted upon it. The 2 original matches are found in the place. Therefore, the 3 match heads form a pivot point from which the 3rd batch magically rises off. For the greatest amount of lift, make sure that the matches are placed in asymmetrically and as securely as possible. Did you know that the same effects of the levitating matchbox can be seen in many domestic thermostats? It can be amplified by attaching 2 strips of material together with different rates of expansion. As temperature rises, the greater expansion on the one side and strip causes it to curve. So, let's begin with the second experiment. The materials we need are inflated balloon, and 8 pieces of paper. So, let's put it on the center of the table. First is scrub or rub the balloon for a minute. Next is place it on the top of the pieces of paper. See how the pieces of paper attaches the balloon. So how does it works? This has to do with the charge of the objects. Positively charged items stick to the negatively charged items. Though objects like the pieces of paper and the balloons are generally neutral and do not attract anything, this can be changed through the transfer of electrons. Electrons are negatively charged subatomically particles that can be transferred between items through contact. When you rub the balloon into the pieces of paper, the contact between the paper and the balloon allows electrons to be transferred, known as the triboelectrical effect. Some materials are more likely to gain electrons and become more negative, while the others are most likely to lose electrons and become more positive. In the case, the paper and the balloon, the electrons are transferred from the hair to the balloon, so the balloon becomes negative. Now the electrons have been transferred. The paper and the balloon are the opposite charge and attract one another. Therefore, the paper sticks to the balloon. Before the balloon contacts the paper, they both have stable balance of electrons and protons. Once the balloon is rubbed on the paper, it takes electrons from the paper, thus leaving the hair positive charge and the balloon negative charge. Once the balloon is pulled away, the paper attacks to it. This happens because the opposite charge attacks, and since the paper was positively charged and the balloon is negatively charged, they attract. So, that's my experiment for today. Hope you like it. Thank you.